بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Well, my name is Joram van Klaveren. I'm from the Netherlands, and I used to be a member of the PVV. It's probably a party that you do not know, and if you do know, that's something special to know. It's the party of Geert Wilders. Maybe you've ever heard of him, the guy with the blonde hair. It's not his real hair color. I know. But he founded the party in 2006, and it's called the PVV, the Freedom Party of the Netherlands. And the main goal of that party was to make sure that Islam was not able to grow in the Netherlands, and later on, it was the purpose was to ban Islam from the Netherlands in total. Well, I'll come back to that later. Maybe it's interesting that I introduce myself a little bit. My name is Joram van Klaveren, as I said, and I grew up in a very Orthodox Protestant environment. My mother and father were members of the Reformed Church. I have an older brother, a sister, another younger brother. We went to church. We read the Bible. We did all the things that normal Christian people do. But we were we were members of a very strict denomination of the Christian Church. So other religions, were gone astray, in the opinion of the theologians of my church. So that's something that it was not explicitly said, but it's something that you learn during the days that you get raised till let's say 16, 17. I had a certain religious bias towards Islam, not specific Islam, but other religions in general. But Islam was certainly not an option to look at in a positive way whatsoever. I studied religion, comparative religion, when I got older. I went to university. But you take, of course, the things you learn in your upbringing with you. So that's something I did too. I became politically active after 9/11, because September 11, 2001 was the first day of my study of comparative religion. So it was a strange kickoff. After that, we had a murder in the Netherlands. Maybe you've heard of it, Theo van Gogh. He was murdered by a jihadist. A lady who is active in the United States as well, who's from the Netherlands, Ayaan Hirsi Ali. She was in parliament when I was an assistant of a politician back then. So the whole sphere in a political sense and in a social sense was very anti-Islam. Of course, you had the terrorist attacks in London, Madrid, etc., etc. So there was a certain, it was a certain time that the view that people had when it came to Islam became a negative and more negative, more negative. And I think that another thing that's very important that played a role in the way I developed myself is the fact that in Europe there is a historical bias towards Islam because of the historical clashes, and we have crusades from the Christian church towards the Islamic world. There are attacks from Ottoman Empire, for example, on the Christian part of the world. So there have been clashes for hundreds of years, one side, the other side, and the other way around. And the combination of those things, the start of my comparative religion study at September 11, 2001, the fact that Theo van Gogh was murdered, my upbringing, and I think the historical bias of Europe when it comes to Islam, the combination of those things made me want to become politically active. And I was searching for a party who was most anti-Islam, well, I found that that party. There was Geert Wilders from the PVV, and I did everything I could when I became a member of parliament. It was in 2009, 2010. So that's way back, and yeah, the last I think 7, 8 years of the 7, 8 years after that, I did everything that I could to stop Islam from growing. I tried to get legislation to ban Islamic schools in the Netherlands, to ban all mosques, to prohibit it, reading the Quran. So, and in one time we made legislation, or we tried to make legislation to ban Islam in